And for Jet, today is the D-Day, as today is the last day on which bids will be submitted for the embattled carrier Jet Airways. London-based investment firm ADI Partners has formally placed its bid for cash-staffed Jet Airways. Meanwhile, another British entrepreneur has also shown interest in Jet Airways. Jet's erstwhile partner Etihad, which owns 24% stake, has also shown interest in investing more money in Jet Airways. Meanwhile, reports say Jet Airways top executive Gaurang Shetty, considered close to founder Naresh Goyal, has resigned from airline's board of directors. British entrepreneur Jason Unsworth has also submitted an EOI, which is expression of interest, to invest in Jet Air, claiming support of its founder Naresh Goyal. Unsworth is a former flight steward with Ryanair. And we are joined by Jason. He has shown interest in bidding for Jet Airways. And Jason is joining us from Thailand. Good evening to you, Jason. First of all, what is attracting you to Jet Airways? Well, there are a lot of problems over here as well.
Hi, good evening. Right, well, I was first interested in Jet Airways since I flew with them actually to Bangkok via Mumbai back in September last year. And this was my first learn of the unfolding problems and present situation. And after 4 years of working solidly on our own staff airline, and we have a group of investors, and it's kind of fell in at the right time to place the bid today. And so just the last night we submitted the EOI document, and I've had a positive response back from Mr. Ranesh Kumar today by email, and inviting us to submit some further documentation. So we're now just discussing with our legal team, and we will get these documents submitted by midnight tonight. And hopefully we're really hoping for a positive outcome.
I will request you to stay with us. Meanwhile, I go to my colleague Pragya Jha from Mumbai. Pragya, first of all, we would like to know what is the situation on ground and how many bids have been received as of now. How many bidders are seriously interested in taking over the operations of Jet Airways, because a lot of troubles are associated with Jet Airways as well, apart from the assets it will bring?
Sumit, in a press conference held some time back, Rajneesh Kumar, the chairman of State Bank of India, which is the top lender in this case for Jet Airways, mentioned that the SBI CAPS, which is the investment banking arm of State Bank of India, had received two unsolicited, bidder requests, or two bids from unsolicited bidders here, and they had further gone on to, in fact, state, or what we learn is that earlier companies like NIIF, that is National Investment and Infrastructure Fund of India, as well as Jet's minority partner Etihad Airways, and also a couple of more, that is Indigo Partners. These were some of those bidders who had initially expressed interest, and SBI CAPS was expecting that these would also come forward, but the matter was not taken forward from there on, is what we hear so far. So we're talking about, of course, unconnected investors coming together as a consortium to infuse funds or to take up their role as investors in beleaguered Jet Airways.
I'll go back to Jason, and Jason is joining us from Thailand. He has shown interest in Jet Airways operations of taking over. But how do you plan to overall turn Jet Airways into a profitable airline, Jason? Because no one wants to suffer losses for endless time. So how do you plan to overall turn around the operation at Jet Airways?
Well, I believe we have enough fund between our consortium of investors to actually restart the airline with around 40 aircrafts. We would need around 170 billion to keep the airline going for the next 2 months. So we are looking to launch domestic international flights over the next 2-week period. And following this, we will keep the premium service but introduce some certain ancillary charges, which will add to the revenue that is coming in. This will give a major boost, I believe, to bringing in and returning it to profit. And we have, obviously, there's a 5-year period in which we can do this, but I believe we can really return this airline to profit within the next 5 years. We have an excellent team of aviation consultants, with some with more than 45 years of experience. My lead consultant is Indian origin, and he's based in Atlanta Airport and presently looks after the British Airways 747 fleet. So he will join in with our consortium and possibly relocate to Mumbai. And he will also be assisting myself in the restructure of the airline.
All right, Jason, thanks for talking to us, Jason. I'll come back to you, Pragya, for a quick wrap-up. So far, as we stand, there are liabilities. We also hear that HDFC is going to take over the building Jet Airways was owning. So Gaurang Shetty has quit. So according to you, now how much is it possible that Jet Airways will be able to come back to skies?
That's right, Sumit. Additionally, as HDFC Home has in fact, taken back the office that Jet owned in BKC, the primary, it is one of the primary business areas in Mumbai, that locality where it housed one of its office. Other than that, we've also seen that the Registrar of Companies, the section that comes under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in India, has also in fact contacted Jet, and there are some investigations or some files that are being retrieved for alleged fraudulent transactions or cash amounts that were with Jet. So there are a lot of things that are surrounding the sinking ship here, but there is some ray of hope, as 22,000 employees are looking here as they see some light at the end of the tunnel, with investors coming on board. And we see that Mr. Jason, along with other few investors, have also expressed their interest as becoming investors in the airline, and we'll get to know only post 6 p.m. when when there's closure on the bidding process as to who are finally the bidders and what are the steps that are going to be taken forward. But for now, there is some relief in sight for employees of Jet who are waiting, in fact, to begin, to start getting their salaries. They're waiting for salaries to be remitted. There are so many debts along for the airline, right from Indian Oil Corporation that hasn't been giving them fuel because they had not paid their debts, and even to lessors and to suppliers as well.
Thank you, Pragya, for getting us all these details and bringing us up to date with this Jet Airways story.